Hello, hello all. Let's understand how we are going to use shading pencils with very simple drawings or objects, as we may say. I'm going to just draw some geometrical shapes over here, like a rectangle, a triangle, a circle or a round, if you may say so, and a random object. And in each we will see that how it differs when we use different shading pencils of different numbers. And here the shading pencils I'm using are all B's. That means 2B, 4B, 6B and 8B. So let us see and understand what difference and how it makes the difference. So to begin with, let's draw with the help of 2B. Generally 2B is very useful when it comes to drawing. So let's start with 2B. So I'm going to start with a square. Remember, when we draw, we should not be drawing very dark, because whether it is shading pencils or color pencils or anything, the drawing should be done as light as possible, as in reality no objects, nothing has an outline unless we give an outline to it. Next I'm going to draw a triangle. I'm just drawing random, so if the shape or the lines are not exact, please pardon me for that. Maybe later I can convert this into pyramid or something. Next, I'm going to draw a round. And if you notice, I said round because round can mean a circle, an oval, a spherical, anything that does not have an edge, corners, and has only one face. And my next drawing will be of an organic object, or let's say a random shape. I would also like to include a cuboid over here. A small one. Now let's see how the shading of each shading pencils differ. So we'll first try shade with 2B, and in the same one we'll try and shade with 4B, 6B and 8B. Okay, and I'm not going to shade straight. I generally prefer shading slanting. One very important thing to note over here is, while shading, we should not be holding our pencils here. And the tip of the pencil, if you may notice, should not be very pointed or should not be very blunt. So what we're going to do here is, we're going to hold the pencil here, not over here, because when we hold here it's difficult to handle, and when we hold here it restricts ourselves, but holding here is never suggested. Maybe holding here can be helpful, especially when we are trying to get some details, but for a normal shading we prefer holding it in this part. And also please notice, I am giving, or let's say resting my hand on this part, right from my little finger till the wrist. Not on this part of the wrist, but on the bottom part of the wrist, over here. Okay, and I'm keeping it like this, and I'm not holding like this, because this becomes an underpalm position. So I'm going to hold it in the normal way. And I'm just shading with 2B as of now. Now let's try 4B. Yes, here is my 4B. Same as you can see with the tip, it's neither too pointed nor too blunt. Interesting thing over here to notice is, while I'm shading, I'm not starting exactly where 2B ended. I'm shading a little bit on 2B, just to try and show the gradual change in my shade. Also, interesting thing to note over here is I am not shading very harshly, or I'm not pressing my pencil, I'm going very light. So let's try and shade till 4B, with 4B till the center point, till this line. Right. Next pencil would be 6. Now when I'm starting with 6B, it should overlap a little bit on 4B so that it shows the gradual change instead of a sudden change. And I'm sure you're able to notice the difference in the shades of 2B, 4B and 6B over here. As the number of B is increasing, the letter B is increasing, the pencil shade is also becoming darker. So the darkness is also increasing, if I may say so, of the shade of the pencil. Alright. Now the last pencil would be 8B. Well, we can also use 10B, we can always also use 12B, 11B, 14B. But right now I'm sticking with just these 4 pencils. Now for 8B also, it will go a little bit on 6B of course. And as you can see, the difference in 8B. Right, now in the triangle, I would use them with darkness. Like here, I did not apply too much of pressure in any of the pencils, but now let me use them to the fullest of their darkness. We'll just make an outline over here, which we should always do after the shading is over. This covers the unevenness while the shading had happened. Now let's shade the triangle. As always, I'll again go back to 2B first. And I'm going to shade as dark as possible with my 2B. So that I get the darkest effect of 2B. And here I'm shading vertically, going up and down, just moving my pencil from edge to edge. And this time I will at the same time go on filling the gaps between the outline and my shading. But not like an outline, but like a shading, and then again just blend this part so that it's not seen separately like an outline. So this is my 2B to its darkest. Now my next pencil would be 4B, following the same order. Again I'll start from 2B and not where 2B ended. And let's go till this part. You can see the difference of 2B, 4B. Now here you would notice, since this is a very longer area, longer region to be covered, I am not going at one go. I'm just shading till here and then shading over here. Since the pressure on the pencil is same, it would not make any difference in the color of my shade. Yeah, there we have 2B and 4B. Again, the same thing to be followed by, we'll continue the same thing with 6B now. Here you are. Again, a little bit on 4B first. And then. Remember, the B pencils are really soft and smooth to work with. And they move very freely on any paper, be it a textured paper, be it a non-textured paper. They move very smoothly for us. So I'm trying to use 6B to the darkest. Right. Now my last pencil is 8B. Now let's see what happens with 8B. How much dark can it get to? I'm sure we all are able to spot the difference. And let me make a line of 8B right at the bottom. I'm sure we all are able to spot when they are in light. It's 2B, 4B, 6B, 8B, 2B, 4B, 6B, 8B. So let me just write it down. 2B, 4B, 6B, 8B. 2B, 4B, 6B, 8B. Light use, hot press use, or to say dark use. So this is how our 2B, 4B, 6B, 8B and all works. Now same way we are going to work on these objects also. Maybe like in this we can come from top to bottom, in this we can go in a curved way, and in cuboid we can go in whichever directions we want. So let's see how everything changes. Now in this cuboid, let me try and use 2B lightly and darkly at the same time. So the thing that you will have to pay attention over here is my index finger and thumb. When I'm using a pencil lightly, when the pressure on the pencil is light, it's like this. But when the pressure on my hold, the hold pressure on the pencil becomes tight, my fingers curve. I'm sure you can make the difference between my index finger and how my thumb is moving. So I'm going to go light, 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 and I'm going to go dark from here. But if you notice, my direction of shading hasn't changed. As I move here again, my hold becomes lighter. Let's take 4B. Here I'm not considering any light source or anything. I'm just trying to show you the difference between each and every pencil's shade and how it looks, or how the shade looks when we use it on our objects and drawing and in our artwork. This is extremely important. I'm switching to 6B now. This is extremely important for
Balance this
us to
side.
understand. So we need to understand that how each and every pencil looks.
Ma'am, sir, should I start coloring?
Because it is really important for us to understand that when I'm using my pencil lightly, when I'm trying to use it really dark, then what kind of shade my pencil is gonna give me on my artwork. And that understanding for an art student is extremely important. Light source, of course. Without light source we can't move. But light source will come in action once you know which particular pencil is darker or lighter. If you don't have that understanding, let me tell you, how would you know that where there is more light which pencil to use and where there is no light which pencil to use? So this exercise is going to help you do that. And of course in the last one I would take 8B. So let's take 8B lightly first. I'm changing the directions in each places so that it becomes easier for you all to understand where which pencil has been used. There we are. So I'm sure with the help of these three shapes that I've drawn here, you would have got somewhat understanding. So I would appreciate if you all, those who are watching this video and are interested in learning how we shade and how we use shading pencils, I'm sure you would want to work on the other objects also. Now let's understand how we are going to work with a round object. It's very interesting because we need to bring that round effect in it. And let me tell you, I may be using all the 4 pencils or I may just use 2 pencils. And I'm going to show you how we are going to blend them. So I will start with 2B and I'm going to start shading from here very lightly first. Again, I'm not going ahead with any light source as of now. That's why you can see there's no shadow and all, and there's no particular way. I'm just following 2B, 4B, 6B, 8B. But here I'm going to show you how we can blend each pencil and the shades with each other, and how it doesn't look that it is segregated or it has been specially done over there, but we get a gradual change in our shade. It just doesn't look that suddenly from light it has become dark. So I'm going up with 2B right now, and as you can see that 2B I first shaded lightly. I'm again going with the second layer of 2B, but I haven't increased the pressure on my fingers or on the pencil right now. Right? This will be my third layer of 2B on top of it. And the reason I always suggest that we should hold in this way, because this position of your pencil holding helps you in getting a smudgy, a strokey and a proper soft and smooth look on your work, and not like a line effect. Now I'm going to take 6B. Okay, here you are. Sorry, this is 8B. Yeah, here you. Now when I'm shading 6B and I want to show that there's a gradual change from 2B, I will start a little bit from 2B and lightly, because as we can see that this is 2B and this is 6B, there's a good amount of difference over here. 2B and 6B, 2B and 6B. So I'm going to really go light and I'm going to hold the pencil a little bit more behind. Right. I always say, sir, when we are using papers, let's make use of the flexibility of it and let's turn it. And so that I don't smudge this, I always prefer using a sheet on top of it. And I start with my first layer of 6B. Giving it a curve look. I'll go with my second layer. Now if you see, if I'm starting this, I'm not starting the second layer from here, but I'm starting a little bit below that, as I want to show that the darkness is changing slowly and gradually, as it should. Now I'm going to take 8B because I want it to be more dark, but I'll start from here. This is my first layer of 8B. And my second layer of 8B. And my third layer of 8B. But there's one thing to notice over here. We can see a line here, a mark here, a mark here, and a mark here. So how do we blend that? Now, I first darken the place which I have to. And give an end to it. Now, if you notice, I'm just going front and back and very smoothly. And not making it dark, but trying to blend with the line that is over here. And maintaining the curve. Now I take 6B and I do the same thing because we see a sudden change over here. I just have to see that I have taken 6B. Right, you see there's a smooth transition. Do the same thing here. I first try to make this portion, this area, a little smooth. And now I'm going to take my 2B. Of course, I'm going to turn the paper again because that will be easier for me to work with. And remember, when you're shading on a shaded part, it will always be darker than what was shaded before, irrespective of which pencil it is. On a 2B will become darker. On a 4B will become darker. But an 8B on a 2B obviously will become too dark. And I try to maintain the curve. There. So the pencils we used in this: 2B, 6B, 8B, in 3 layers, and then blending it. Right. Now I hope, folks, you guys will be able to work on this. So once you're done with this, do show it to me, and if you have any comments, leave it on the comment box. Thank you, but I will still try to work on this and I will show you what I have done with it. So let's see how it looks. Okay, so I have completed the fourth one also, and this is how it looks, and I have used 3 pencils over here. Now in this we had used 2B, 6B, 8B, whereas in this I have used 2B, 4B, 8B. Again, 2 to 3 layers, just like over here, and then I've blended them together. Now if you notice here, this curve and all, it's all because of the direction that was maintained. Just like we got a half moon over here, Same way, I'm getting curve and everything. It's more like a croissant. So I hope you guys will try this and do share your pics once you have completed all 5 of them. Thank you.